Hello and welcome to Paduk U. This is my first video where we will be discussing this pattern that appears in the bottom left side of the board. And a quick introduction before we start. Basically, this channel is focusing on kind of filling the gap in the content that we have available to English speakers, um, primarily because the Korean Paduk scene has a lot more pros and strong amateurs that create a lot of really good learning content that is obviously not available for those of us who can't speak Korean. And so I would like to kind of, or for somebody, a little bit of a personal background for me is that as I was trying to improve past the Q ranks and into the Dan levels. Once I reached like one Dan or so, I wasn't able to really find a lot of answers to some of the questions and board positions that were appearing quite frequently, and I was able to find them in Korean videos. And since I'm fortunate enough to have a Korean background, I thought some of the content that I could make would be beneficial for you guys here and for me as well, as we're all, kind of looking to improve our game and take it to the next level. And so I will be posting a video about once a week with something that I've learned or some kind of position that maybe you guys are interested in as well. So if there's something you want me to go over, please leave a comment down below. And without further ado, let's get into today's topic, which is this board position. Here, it happens very, very frequently in pro games, and to the untrained eye, we might be asking, why does black Hane here when white could just do this Atari and extend? This seems very powerful, doesn't it? First off, it threatens a ladder on this black stone. Also, the black stones down here are not safe either. This cut just feels very, very powerful. And there's a reason why, and we're going to find that out today. The proper sequence is white will play here, and then black will Tanuki. Um, and to see how this board position was created, I'm going to show it to you guys up here on the top right side of the board. But basically, black 3 3s, white will Atari or will block here or here. Probably most of us would probably block this way because we have a stone here. But anyway, black would push, white would push again, black would play the knight's move, and then white would play away. Um, Later on in the future, black will look to play this move, specifically because it gets rid of this. This is a very famous corner pattern that we have here. Um, of course, if the ladder is good, white would play this, and if not, it would be something like this. But in anywho, black could even play something like this, especially if he feels threatened by playing this. If there's like some kind of undercut, that could be potentially powerful. But anyway, um, I'm not going to go over the variations that can take place here in the corner. Um, or it could be something like this as well. And because we already have a lot of great content on this specific pattern, and so definitely, if you want to go over something like this, you can definitely find it elsewhere. But today we're going to be focusing on this move specifically. White will play this or should play this um, at a certain point in time, because if white doesn't respond later on, something like this is really expanding black's moil. Also, black could look for some kind of invasion here and threaten these 3 stones. Um, and if white, let's say white does play this, and then black Hanes, white should play this move because it does create cutting points. If black defends, this is the proper way to do it. Because white can't play here, black will just Atari, right? And then this stone is captured. Black can even extend downwards. Um, if black plays this, white will connect. The cutting point remains. White wall is looking pretty thick. All this stone is a little bit too close to this wall. Ideally, we want it to be a little bit further out. But in any case, this amount of territory black is getting is, not, it's not in any case like better than what white has here. White could even keep pushing. Um, so anywho, this is the proper sequencing of the move. White will actually Hane here, and then black should extend, which brings us back to this pattern we had here. And so if I go back, now we want to know why white can't just cut here and extend, because I've played this move a few times in my games because I see the pros do it, and this is a very, very unfortunately, sometimes people would just cut here because they see this cut here, like it's so obvious, right? You just do this, and then now black's in trouble. You only need to read 3 moves, and you can already see that it's pretty advantageous for white. And you know, sometimes a lot of us we try to copy the pros because we see the pros doing it and we think, oh, like if the pros are doing it, so it means like it's good for us and we should do it. But then if we get hit with something like this, then and we don't know how to deal with it, then we fall apart. And so these are some of the questions that we had, and or that I had as I was playing, and that I've experienced very unfortunate defeats. So hopefully this will shed some light on that. So when white does play here, black will connect, white will extend out, and now it seems black is in trouble, right? But black has this move here. And previously, if white didn't make this Atari, black can't play here because it just makes this shape, um, you know, it doesn't do anything because white then just extends down and this cutting stone didn't actually do anything. But at this point in time, white played here, black connected and white expanded out. This is an overplay. This is greedy. Of course, if black never plays this move, if black does something like this, then this is unbelievably good for white. Um, white doesn't even need to capture the stone. I could just play something like here. It doesn't really matter. These stones aren't like gonna die. Um, but in any case, white extends like this. Black will play in here. White must cut here because if he doesn't, then these 2 stones will become isolated. Then that's just a dead corner. So white will play here. Black will Atari, and black will not play this Atari. We are gonna save this because, as you can see, we can now Hane here. White cannot Hane back because then we can just capture these white stones, and then this is ridiculous. Like this is game over basically. So white must play here, and then black will just create a ko. And there are no ko threats in the beginning, right? Or so we thought, and this is why we didn't Atari this stone, because we can do that now. If black wins the ko, then we just we basically get the Panuki, and this position is insanely good for white. Or black is very secure. These stones are still not safe yet, although they are, they're not heavy or anything like that yet. But definitely, even something like this, really builds black's potential in the top left side of the board. But in any case, white must connect, and then black will take the ko again, and then you might think that white can play this move, right? This is a ko threat, right? But this is a losing move because, let's say for instance, black takes this ko threat and white tries to do something here, and then black actually responds to it, and then now like white has a chance of winning the ko. At a later point in time, white wouldn't win the ko by, playing this move. White would play this move, so when black actually does take the ko, again, white can just connect. And now these stones are dead, and the base here for black isn't secure. There's no more danger anymore on this side of the board. But instead of doing that, what white has done essentially is just played this here instead of playing at b2. So black will just push, and now black's corner here is settled. You're still in a ko for white. You must take it. Black doesn't really even need to do anything at this point. Black can just Tanuki, and the ko threat remains. White must capture like here or whatever, or even connect. No, actually, don't connect. That's terrible. Actually win the ko, and then black can play away again. And then now you've played away 2 times, you've been developing the board. This is extremely bunched together and small. These stones here are still attackable in the future. And at this point in time, white should honestly resign. So that is why, because of this if white does, like play away somewhere here and black does win the too, this is terrible for white. This like B2 bomber formation, white stones are not safe. And of course these stones are attackable well, and most importantly, black is completely fine in the corner, and has a very solid amount of points and potential influence. So that is why we do not cut here as white. We just play out. And at this point in time, black will just play away. As we said, black can't do this. And that is the sequence, and that is how we go about this pattern. But and that's why we're able to play this Hane. We don't do this as black. You know, you're getting this little while white is building a huge wall, has a lot of thickness, a lot of potential in the future. This territory by black is not even secure. You're kind of being pressed down. White can even do something like this. You're not going to get a lot of points from this in comparison to what white is gaining on this side in terms of its thickness, in terms of the corner, in terms of you being smushed down here with all your stones. This is not playable for black. So that is why black does this, and that is why we cannot do this. And so hopefully, if you do this and somebody plays this move against you, you will know how to deal with it now by playing this move. And that does it for my video today, or my first video. If there's any feedback you have from me, if you like the content, please give me a like, please subscribe. I will be posting weekly. If you have any content that you'd like for me to cover, definitely leave it down in the comments below. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time.